Hello, kids. Today I'm just getting out of doing my garden work and I was doing some Bible journaling. So I thought I would document it here and maybe share it with you people. So you can see some of the things I'm using here. I was using the Teresa Collins Signature Essentials stencil on the page with just your basic watercolors. I was using the Ranger Archival inks and Sophia and black Cocoa Daisy and Illustrated Faith word stamps and some random lettering stamp that I had there, along with paper scraps and some ephemera that I had stamped and watercolored. Put that on the page. So you can see that I have already done stenciling on the page. I have glued down a doily and a heart and a little piece of ephemera there. So I'm starting my stamping with the Illustrated Faith stamps, and you will notice when I do my stamps, I clean them, each one of them, and put them back. I don't just use one and throw it to the side and let it get all messed up. I do clean my stamps pretty well and try to take care of them. So you'll see me doing that throughout the video, especially when I get ink on the side of my ink pad. You know, it's going to get messy if you don't do it right. And I have not properly gotten my letters spaced out before I started stamping. I thought I did, but I didn't go quite far enough to the left. So let's see how that turns out later. So I'm journaling in my 1-year Chronological Bible Expressions softcover Bible from Tyndale, and that's what I'm doing this year. I'm reading the Bible in chronological order in this Bible, and as we're starting June here, I just thought I would show you this process video. I'm really liking June because June starts in Proverbs, and as it goes throughout the month of June, we go from Proverbs, which is teaching us about the differences in being upright and being wicked, teaches us to discipline ourselves, teaches us wisdom for life. It has advice for the old and the young, and it has warnings. So it starts in Proverbs and it jumps back and forth between 1 Kings, 2 Chronicles, Ecclesiastes, 2 Kings, Jonah, Amos, Micah, Hosea, and it ends with Isaiah and his warnings to us. So I did choose Love Prospers to put on this page because the whole month does teach us about love and what prospers. And if I could read you from June 1st here, on the page you see, Proverbs 17, better a dry crust eaten in peace than a house filled with feasting and conflict. A wise servant will rule over the master's disgraceful son and shall share the inheritance of the master's children. Fire tests the purity of silver and gold, but the Lord tests the heart. Wrongdoers eagerly listen to gossip. Liars pay close attention to slander. Those who mock the poor insult their maker. Those who rejoice in the misfortune of others will be punished. Grandchildren are the crowning glory of the aged parents and are the pride of their children. Eloquent words are not fitting for a fool. Even less are lies fitting for a ruler. A bribe is like a lucky charm. Whoever gives one will prosper. Love prospers when a fault is forgiven, but dwelling on it separates close friends. A single rebuke does more for a person of understanding than 100 lashes on the back of a fool. And so that's where it does say right there, love prospers when a fault is forgiven. Love prospers in many ways, but when a fault is forgiven, or when you forgive someone, love prospers. Probably not only in your heart, but hopefully in theirs too. So you see, as I'm getting done stamping that, I didn't quite have room for the R there. And I'm thinking I should have gone on to the next page with the S and just put the Prospers, but it's too late now. Kind of looks like Lover Prospers. Anyway, I still like my page. So here I'm just inking around a little bit on the page, around the edges of that ephemera, and I'm inking the edges of the page itself just a little bit. Not too much, just enough to give it a little something there. I really like the Ranger ink. That is one of my favorite ink pads. It's the archival acid-free, permanent, and waterproof. So it's pretty juicy and it works well for me. So then I'm going to just glue down this little ephemera, maybe. Nope, I think I'm going to stamp with my favorite ink again here. And this stamps don't come out very heavily, so it just gives the page a little bit of, you know, that zhuzh. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting my words. This is terrible having to do a video this way, but it just gives it a little more texture on the page and a little something. So I do go ahead and glue down my little flower ephemera piece. That's something I had stamped in watercolor previously. If I can figure out where to put it here. And I'm sorry my voice sounds bad. I have allergies and so I'm kind of raspy, but I'm going to do this video anyway. And the funny part here is I actually put at least 2 of the doilies down, so I didn't realize I had 2. Of course, I wouldn't have done that, but now I'm having to stick the edges down because the bottom one is stuck to the page, but the top one is flaring out a little bit, so I have to go back and glue around its edges to glue it down. So here you can get a look at my page, and I thought, well, I'm done with the page, but no. I think I'll have to do something else. And what do? Well, you might add washi, but I didn't do that here. I added some rickrack and some fibers that are really fibers. The fibers are yellow and brown, but you know, they have all that fringe hanging off of them. So you'll see me glue them down here in a minute. And I didn't plan this. This is just something I grabbed up off my craft desk that I had out to use for another project. But here we go. We're going to look good on this one. So, I did put that one down into the craft. And I'm using the Aleene's craft glue, which I'm doing a pretty good job at putting the lid back on every time I do something on this video, I've noticed, which is not something I always do. Sometimes if I know I'm going to be using it, I just set it to the side and then pick it back up again, but I seem to be putting the lid back on. Anyway, so I'm using the Aleene's craft glue and the Elmer's double-sided tape runner here to adhere things down to the page. And here we go with that really fibrous stuff, and you'll see how I actually do a pretty good job of not getting it all over the place and getting it on the page without pulling it up with my fingers. But my video editing technique is lacking. As you'll see, there's the watermark on here with this KindMaster video, and I used to use it years ago, but now it has kind of stopped the one it had and updated, and it's brand new. So there is a paid version, and I'm finding out that a lot of the things that used to be in the free version, like being able to cut clips out in the middle, I used to be able to do on the free version, and now I can't seem to figure out how to do that. So there were places in this video that I would have gone ahead and cut out and just move forward, but I couldn't figure out how to do that on this free video editing software. So that's why it's like that. I'm going to be looking at some other things to use in the future, but I do still like this, and for free, it's pretty good. So here you'll see the fibers. Try to move them down. Touch them right in there. But still got glue and fibers stuck to my fingers. So I felt pretty good that I actually got them down. Didn't feel that there was enough glue going to hold them, being the way that they are separated and fibrous. So I'm gluing them down more, and this is the part I would have cut out where I'm cleaning my fingers from the glue, but as I said, I didn't know how to cut that out. So it's just going to be in here. And there I go once again. I think, I'm finished. I could just leave it like that, or I could add something else. And so I think I come up with a jelly roll pin here. Yeah. And this is the jelly roll metallic gold pin. And it is very juicy, and I like it. To me, it comes off more, a little bit more like bronze, because I have another gold sparkly glitter pin, and the other pin is definitely more gold. This one turns out a little deeper, kind of a bronze to me, but it's a really great pin to use. It has great shine and shimmer in it. And so I'm just going inside the black on these letters to give them a little something. You can't really see it that well on the outside, so if you do it right inside the black letters, it shows up and gives it that pretty look. And we all like those different layers and textures. So I'm just going around the letters there doing that. Video either, so that's another part of the free app that is now on the paid version. And of course, as I said, I didn't clean up for this video. I was actually going to be doing housework or some yard work, and so I have on old clothes, and my hair is stringy and not even tied back in a ponytail, so you get to see some of that. Just skip over that. It doesn't matter how great I look when I do it. It's just the fact that I do it. So, I had stamped "with God" above the "Love Prospers" here. I stamped that in the sepia ink there from the Ranger on a little piece of paper. And in order to make it pop out a little more, I'm just going over it with around the edges of the letters with a black Pentel liquid gel ink pen. 07 is just a regular gel pen, and I had done a trial on pens, a little competition between them a couple of years ago to find out which pen actually had the blackest ink, and this is actually the pen that won, and it was pretty close to the Pilot, I think. Yeah, I think the Pilot black was the second blackest, and they were pretty close, but this one came out being the winner. So I've inked black around the edges, and the page actually says "With God, Love Prospers." So what do I want to do now? Well, I'm going to put another piece of rickrack down here on the bottom. And the rickrack does blend in with the page. You can't even see it until you get up to and look at the page closely. It blends in with the background of the page, which the background of the page was actually done in purple and a little bit of yellow. On on a stamper, I used a makeup sponge on top of that stencil and just wiped it into my color palette there, and dabbed it on real quick to do the watercolor. So the purple doesn't come out as being a dark purple. It fades out a little bit grayish, and then there's some of the yellow in there, mostly around the edges, so that this yellow and cream fibers and rickrack pretty much fade right into the page, but you still can see them if you look close enough. So then I was just, I think I'll do something else. So I grab up my gold stickles, which stickles is great. It's a glitter glue, and it does glue very well, and it does glue down if you just want to use it like I have here. I've outlined the letters in the stickles, and I had a problem with the stickles right here. It got a glob in it and wouldn't come out, so I had to get a pin and stick it in there and do all this. And again, this is one of the cuts that I would have cut out of the video if I could figure out how to cut pieces out. So that's what I'm doing now, is getting the glob out of my little glitter stickles my stickles nozzle to get going again, and then I just go around the edges of the letters with the stickles. And as I said before, stickles is a great one. It does work much better than your dollar store glitter glue as far as sticking on and as far as the not coming off. You don't get glitter falling off out of it later. And so my head in the shot looking terrible was something else I would have cut out if I had been able to do that. So you'll just have to forgive me your looks, or for my looks, because forgive me of that fault, and love prospers. So just saying. And if you've watched the video this far, I'm sure you will, so thank you very much for watching. Trying very hard not to cough or clear my throat, because as I said, I do have allergies and my throat is not doing as well as I would like today, but pretty good. So I'm getting around with the stickers, which doesn't show up very good, I don't think, on the video. When you watch it, it looks a little better. You can see the glitter more when you're actually looking at the page. So, I guess I'm just thinking it over here. It's like, well, what am I doing? Doesn't that look nice? Or do I need something else? Well, then I decide that I'll take my jelly roll pen and I will go around the inside of the sepia colored "With God" on the top here, which just gives it a little something, and it actually looks really good. I like it with the sepia, and the black around it really makes it pop. So as I go through there, I could tell you the next verse in the Bible, as we're going through reading in Proverbs 17 here. The next verse says, "Evil people are eager for rebellion, but they will be severely punished. It is safer to meet a bear robbed of her cubs than to comfort a fool caught in foolishness." Oh, if you repay good with evil, evil will never leave your home. But again, if you forgive that fault, love prospers. So here I'm just looking at it and thinking, well, I'm going to add something else, a little something, something. I think I'll put, a banner up here type thing. So I grab out my to-go pin case and get some little page flags and a round piece of ephemera that is just some paper that was leftover paper from the edge of something that I had punched out with a round punch. And so I grabbed them up and start putting them on the page. And I decided that I will ink the edges of the page flags a little bit, just to give them that little something, you know. Don't want it too heavy, because that's not the main focus of my page. I did give them a little swipe, and then excuse me please, then I have a little accident right here, which is kind of cool in the end. Oh no, I dropped it right on my page where my wet stickles is, so I have to carefully get it off. And when I do, oh, look at that, now it's got a bunch of nice glitter on it. So one of those happy mistakes. So I just try to figure out how I want to put it up there on the page, and then I stick it down. I hope you're enjoying this video. Sorry for how unprofessional it is, but working on your own. I am not one of the best artists or creative people or anything else, so you know, if I can do it, you can do it. If you want to do something, just pull out a few things, set them out there, even if you don't think you're going to use them, and have a general idea of what you want to do, and just go for it. You know, I always like the old Nike saying, just do it. You know, you can do it, and you can make it look great. You can make it mean something that you will remember, something that means something to you, and you can have this Bible as a memento for anyone else. It says, grandchildren are the crowning glory of the aged, in here that I've already read, and so someday my grandchildren may be looking at this and looking at what I thought was important at this time, which is that with God, love prospers. So that's kind of wild. And I'm just going around the heart and a little bit of these things around the edges of things with the gold pen again. And here I'm gluing down a little better there in the edges of the with God thing. And again, I put my lid back on my glue. So what do you get there with that? Okay, so we're looking at it, and I think it's done. I think that's just where I'm going to leave that page for right now.